Good morning. I'm Andres Weintraub from the University of Chile. Today, we're going to tell you how war has changed the way professional soccer is scheduled in Chile and more recently in South America. More importantly, we'll show you how this project has impacted society in a way no other we've worked on in the past. This project is about football, perhaps better known to you as soccer. Even more, it's a passion for soccer. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world. The passion for the sport is deeply rooted in world culture. Indeed, the game is often seen as a metaphor for life. Albert Camus, Nobel Prize winner, and a promising goalie until health problems cut short his career, once wrote, "Everything I know about morality and the obligations of man, I owe it to soccer." Bill Shankly, the famous Liverpool soccer team manager, put it perfectly. Some people believe that soccer is a matter of life and death. I'm very disappointed with that attitude. I can assure you it's much more important than that.
Alexis! Le pegó! ¡Chile campeón! ¡Chile campeón! ¡Chile campeón! ¡Chile campeón del mundo!
Soccer can become a country's best face. A land where no political, social or economic differences matter. There are some exceptions though, like in 1969. The tense relations between Honduras and El Salvador surfaced on a qualifying match for the World Cup. One day after the incidents, war broke out between both countries. This episode is known as the War of Soccer. Usually it is all the way around. Soccer as a space to bring peoples together without hatred or grudges. It happened in 1998 between the US and Iran. In 2013, between Croatia and Serbia. In most countries, soccer represents people's cultural identity. It can get to be as important as religion. That is why winning the World Cup may become a matter of life or death. Brazil loses the final match of the World Cup to Uruguay. There is no greater sadness for Brazilian people. The shock will last for decades. More than 1 billion people watched the Brazil 2014 final match between Germany and Argentina. 32.1 million tweets and 280 million interactions occurred during the final match. Famous people pay tribute to these heroes, whose unforgettable feats have drawn both tears and applause. FIFA has more affiliated countries than the United Nations, 209. There are over 330 million male federated players and around 5 million federated women. Soccer is such a great passion. Passion beating deep down inside every fan with unique intensity.
Organized soccer in Chile started in the late 1800s. The ANFP, Chile's Professional Soccer Association, has managed the national tournament since 1933. It is also the country's representative in FIFA. Before 2005, the ANFP drew up its season schedules using random assignments, as is still the case with almost all national soccer federations. However, this procedure had many drawbacks. Key games were often scheduled for inappropriate dates. For example, in 2004, the most important game in the Chilean soccer calendar was scheduled for the first week of the season, when public interest had not yet picked up and the stadium attendance was poor. Also, teams were sometimes assigned home games when maintenance or other events were scheduled for their stadiums or cities. On one occasion, the country's most popular team was scheduled to play in a Chilean small city the same weekend it was hosting a major religious festival. Since local resources could not handle two big events simultaneously, this created a difficult rescheduling problem. The disadvantages of random procedures are still evident in the schedules of some major world soccer leagues. For example, the team's match dates are often poorly coordinated with the dates of other international games. Our scheduling project goes back to 2004, when George Nemhauser gave a talk at our university on the scheduling for Major League Baseball in the US. Shortly afterwards, we made a presentation to the ANFP presidents. Impressed by the possibilities for scheduling improvements, they asked us to model the 2005 seasons, and we have scheduled every season ever since. I would like now to turn you over Guillermo Durán, professor at the University of Buenos Aires, University of Chile.
Thanks, Andrés. Over the next few minutes, I am going to describe the fundamental characteristics of the Chilean Soccer League problem. We have a short video I would like to show you which gives a good introduction to the problem. It was produced a couple of years ago by the CDF, the pay TV soccer channel that broadcasts the games. This video shown daily on TV and gives a simple overview of the conditions satisfied by our models in the Chilean project.
En la cancha. Y concluye este partido de almanaque desde San Carlos de Apoquindo. Nos encontramos en un rato desde Iquique.
¿Cómo lo harán para organizar partidos por todo el país? Yo estoy armando un torneo de baby y está complicado.
Tengo entendido que usan una especie de fórmula.
Así es, abuelo. La matemática es el pilar del fixture.
¿Fixture?
Es la calendarización del campeonato.
¿Cómo lo hacen?
Desenredemos tus dudas. Móvil, vamos con las imágenes. La ANFP es quien organiza el campeonato y en la creación del fixture toma en cuenta distintas variables para hacer que el campeonato sea justo, competitivo, entretenido y que incentive la asistencia a los estadios.
Explícame más, Rafa, aún no cacho.
No es fácil. De hecho, es una tarea tan compleja que la ANFP se la encomendó al Departamento de Ingeniería Industrial de la Universidad de Chile. Ellos desarrollan un modelo matemático para armar el fixture.
¿Modelo matemático?
Sí, una fórmula que mezcla variables y restricciones que necesita satisfacer múltiples condiciones definidas por la ANFP. Son tantas variables que hubo que aplicar modelos matemáticos y desarrollar un software para procesar tanto cálculo.
¿Y cuáles son esas variables y restricciones?
Mira, las primeras a considerar son que los equipos tienen que jugar todos contra todos una vez. Los equipos también deben jugar una misma cantidad de partidos de local y de visita. Pero no pueden jugar más de 2 veces seguidas de visita ni viajar largas distancias en fechas consecutivas.
Claro, para que sea parejo.
Sí, ya voy cachando. ¿Qué más toman en cuenta?
Como priorizar que los clásicos se jueguen más cerca del desenlace del campeonato, incentivando la asistencia de público, o que se jueguen partidos en lugares turísticos durante el verano.
No es nada fácil, ¿eh?
Y hay más variables. Los 3 equipos grandes siempre deben jugar un clásico de local y otro de visita. Y no se puede jugar en fechas consecutivas contra estos equipos.
¡Cuánto dato! Menos mal que mi campeonato no tiene tantas variables.
Mucha suerte con organizar tu calendario. Y ahora es tiempo de ir a Iquique para nuestro siguiente partido.
Very nice. Congratulations to the CDF. Most of the conditions covered in this video are the standard considerations in a sports scheduling problem. I'd like now to mention some particular criteria we propose that set our problem apart from others that have been studied in the academic literature. They have to do with the country's geography, seasonal issues, security concerns, cost savings for the soccer channel, and attractiveness of a schedule. Chile is a long and narrow country with cities that tend to be relatively far apart. In this geographical context, we focus especially on the scheduling of away games, particularly consecutive sequences of 2, because in order to consider sporting fairness, travel cost saving, reduction of player fatigue, and coordination with international match dates. The seasonal problem is that in Chile's rainy southern region, games often have to be cancelled. To mitigate this, we attempt that teams from the south are scheduled few home games in the wettest winter months. Regarding security, teams with home stadium in neighboring areas are constrained not to play at home in the same round in order to avoid street clashes between their fans. As for televising the games, to hold down the channel's travel costs, we include the condition that some of the matches to be televised at different times within a weekend round must be scheduled for cities which are relatively close to each other. That way, they can be covered by a single television production track and crew. Another important issue is the way we calculate the attractiveness of a schedule. This is done through the problem's objective function, in which each match has a pre-assigned value depending on the round it is played in. The main idea is that attractive games are scheduled in the second half of the season when they turn more decisive. With all these constraints, the scheduling problem is impossible to solve using manual methods. The solution approach we develop applies various OR techniques such as constraint programming and integer linear programming in a multi-phase sequence that includes the generation of and use of home and away patterns. Following the success with the first division, we expanded the application of OR to schedule the second and third divisions, Chile Cup and the youth leagues. In the scheduling process, every year 3 members of our technical team, together with the association competition manager, begin by schedule the first division, then the second, and finally the third. Each division takes 2 to 3 weeks, and the whole process lasts about 2 months. Chile Cup, which involves all the Chilean professional teams, and the youth leagues are scheduled separately. Changes are made from year to year in the division requirement and sometimes even their whole format, so all the models have to be adapted every season. As an extension to our Chilean soccer project, we recently scheduled the South American Qualifiers of the 2018 Russia World Cup. To our knowledge, this is the first time OR has been applied to schedule an international soccer competition. Now, I will leave you with Denis Soré, who will explain in detail the methodological aspects of scheduling the Chilean soccer leagues.
Thanks, Guillermo. We approach the scaling task by formulating it as a 0-1 integer program. In this model, there is a variable for each pair of teams and rounds, so that the variable takes the value 1 if the first team plays against the second one at home on that round, and 0 otherwise. Additional auxiliary variables were necessary to encode different conditions pertaining consecutive home or away games. All in all, the resulting model contains about 8,000 binary variables and 3,000 constraints. Back in 2005, because of the size of the model and the combinatorial nature of the problem, trying to solve the model using commercial solvers like Cplex got us nowhere. The problem was just too complex. In particular, finding a feasible solution, which helps IP algorithms a lot, turned out to be very hard. So, to find a first schedule, we use a constraint programming approach, which had been tried successfully in other sport-related applications. Using this, we obtain a first schedule within 3 hours of running time. Having found a feasible solution, we then focus on solving the optimization problem. For this, we use a pattern-based decomposition approach, so as to improve upon said solution. The key concept here is a home-away pattern. That is, an ordered array of home and away labels with as many labels as the number of rounds in the tournament. We say a team follows a given pattern if it plays at home on a given round, if and only if the label associated with such a round on the pattern is home. The overall decomposition approach works on 3 stages, which can be roughly described as follows. First, we generate a set of patterns. Then, we select as many patterns on the ramp as the number of teams, so that, when put together, all constraints that do not depend on the team's identities are satisfied. Finally, patterns are assigned to teams and matches to specific rounds. So, constraints that do depend on the team's identities are satisfied. This decomposition approach significantly reduces the number of decisions to be made in order to construct a feasible schedule. However, it might result in infeasibility. That is why we iterate this process, in some cases not assigning patterns to some teams until finding a feasible solution. In our initial implementation, the first stage of the heuristic simply used the patterns in the solution found through constraint programming. With this, the next step had running times in the order of just a few minutes. Over the years, improvements in hardware and IP solvers have reduced running time significantly. They have also allowed the development of more sophisticated solution methods. However, the most important benefit from having reduced running times is related to the quite dynamic nature of the scheduling task. It is usually the case that the association would present additional ad hoc conditions after seeing a candidate schedule. It is also common to conduct what-if type of experiments to see how imposing some desirable feature would impact the overall schedule. More than once, we have even run the model after a final schedule has been published. For example, in 2007, just before the beginning of the first division tournament, the association's disciplinary tribunal, which has full autonomy, ruled that a team which had been relegated to the second division due to financial violations should be reintegrated to the first division. Using the old methodology, this would have been a nightmare scenario. A new schedule, as similar as possible to the one already published, but with an extra team, had to be constructed in a matter of hours. However, thanks to OR, it just took a few tweaks on the model to come up with a feasible schedule that kept most desirable features of the original solution. The ability to handle these type of situations has reinforced the association's perception of just how powerful the OR approach is. Now, I leave you with Mario Guajardo, who will talk about scheduling the World Cup qualifiers.
Good afternoon. The Soccer World Cup brings together national teams from 6 continental confederations and is followed by billions of people around the world. In South America, the World Cup qualifiers are organized by CONMEBOL, the South American Football Confederation, which includes some of the most successful teams in World Cup history, such as Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. The 10 CONMEBOL teams compete for 5 slots in the finals. Every team plays twice against every other team over a period of 2 years. There are 18 match days grouped into 9 double rounds. In each double round, every team plays 2 games within a few days. This setup raises some special challenges of scheduling balance we illustrate here with an example. In past qualifiers, Argentina used to play 1 game at home and 1 game away in every double round. In contrast, other teams had several breaks, that is, 2 consecutive games with the same home-away condition as shown here for Bolivia's second double round. This is inconvenient for the teams, especially when a break involves long travel sequences, and also for the fans, when the double rounds are separated by extended periods. Also, for logistical reasons, the teams usually prefer to play the first game of a double round at home. This was also unfairly distributed in the traditional schedule. In this example, Argentina started the 2 first double rounds at home, while Bolivia started both away. The traditional schedule used a symmetric format, so-called mirrored, in which the games in the second half are played in the same order as the first, but with the home-away condition reversed. We proved that it is impossible to create a mirror schedule without double round breaks. While minimizing breaks is a standard optimization criterion in sports scheduling literature, minimizing them, particularly in double rounds, is a new problem. By integer programming, we found that the minimum number of breaks within double rounds in a mirror schedule is 16. CONMEBOL's past schedule used to have 18. Despite this and other shortcomings, and although many alternative schedules were proposed in the last 12 years for the last 4 World Cups, none of them received the support of a majority of CONMEBOL countries. Due to the lack of agreement and wide criticism, in January 2015, CONMEBOL decided that the schedule for the 2018 qualifiers will have to be defined by a random draw. Since a totally random schedule is impractical, the 10 countries were allowed to propose generic schedules that could serve as template for the draw. We developed an integer programming approach to create a schedule which greatly improves the balance of home-away sequences, ensuring that in every double round, all teams play 1 game at home and 1 game away. The schedule also keeps some symmetry, resembling the traditional mirror format, so it is easy to understand from the fans. We proposed this schedule at a CONMEBOL meeting in May 2015. Although other countries also presented proposal, ours was unanimously selected and is now being used for the qualifiers to the 2018 World Cup Russia. Transforming so many years of disagreement into such a unanimous consensus of 10 different countries was a significant achievement. In July 2015, the draw took place in St. Petersburg and was conducted by Ronaldo and Forlan, former World Cup MVPs. The moment they drew the teams to allocate them to the schedule that we constructed was a milestone in which operational researchers and soccer practitioners came together for the good of the game. Now, I'll leave you with a member of the board of directors of ANFP, Mr. Hugo Muñoz, who will present an overview of the impact of our project.
Thanks, Mario. Good afternoon. It's a great honor for us at the ANFP to be finalists for the Franz Edelman Award. I would like to tell you how using operations research to schedule our soccer season has helped the game in Chile. First, it has allowed us to incorporate many economics and sporting fairness criteria in the design of our schedule. Ensuring sporting fairness is a huge component of our work. However, there are so many aspects in a schedule that it is practically impossible to put them together without the use of a computer. Our partnership with the University of Chile has allowed us to make up competition more attractive. This has translated into greater attendance at games and increased ticket revenue. In the third season schedule, using operations research, we observed an increase of 55% in ticket revenue over previous year. We estimate the impact of having more attractive competitions at about $2.2 million per year. Also, we estimate that saving on travel per year are about $1.2 million. This is particularly important for the young leagues, where budgets are limited and savings amount to about half of the total travel cost. Beyond the economic impact, the fact that our schedules are the output of an optimization program has made the process much more transparent. This is very important for reconciling the request of the teams and the projecting an image of credibility for soccer fans and the press. Overall, Operation Research has completely transformed the May our institution schedule to the league seasons. The teams have great respect for the project and have enthusiastically supported the change. Proof of this is that the project is still going strong after 11 years. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from some previous ANFP officials.
Hola, soy Alejandro Carmach. Me tocó participar en los inicios de la calendarización del fútbol chileno con el grupo de investigación de operaciones de la Universidad de Chile. La verdad que solo puedo hablar de los éxitos que tuvo este modelo, en donde aumentó la gente en los estadios, se provocaron ahorros para los clubes, se mejoraron los estándares de seguridad y fue en general un éxito absoluto en todos los términos.
Mi nombre es Patricio Mardones, fui gerente de competiciones en la ANFP en el año 2014-2015, además seleccionado chileno de fútbol, y me tocó junto al grupo de la Universidad de Chile confeccionar el fixture de los torneos 2014-2015, cosa que en Chile es muy difícil, sobre todo porque tenemos un país muy largo y juntar los intereses de todos los clubes para hacer un campeonato atractivo es complicado. Además, tuve la fortuna de participar en la época que se jugó el Mundial Sub-17 en Chile, en el cual era muy difícil debido a que habían estadios que se usaban para jugar el torneo nacional y además eran sede del torneo Sub-17 mundial. Por lo tanto, lo pudimos hacer gracias a la ayuda de investigaciones operativas y lógicamente fue un gran apoyo.
And now I work from the current president of our organization, Mr. Arturo Salá, who has a long and excellent trajectory in Chilean soccer.
Mi nombre es Arturo Salá, presidente de la ANFP, Asociación Nacional de Fútbol Profesional de Chile. Lamento mucho no poder estar con ustedes personalmente. La ANFP ha utilizado investigación de operaciones para armar los torneos de Primera División de Chile durante los últimos 11 años y bajo 4 presidencias sucesivas. El proyecto ha otorgado una serie de beneficios importantes, que incluyen mayor asistencia a los partidos, ahorro en los viajes de los equipos, mayor transparencia, equidad deportiva, menor necesidad de recalendarizar los partidos y mejor eficiencia en la operación de los estadios. Debido al éxito del proyecto en los fixtures de Primera División, extendimos esto a nuestra segunda y tercera, así como también a nuestras ligas juveniles. Además, el año pasado, la Federación de Fútbol de Chile propuso un fixture construido por el equipo del proyecto, utilizando técnicas de investigación de operaciones para las clasificatorias sudamericanas de la Copa del Mundo 2018. Los países miembros de la CONMEBOL, la Confederación Sudamericana de Fútbol, escogieron de forma unánime la propuesta por sobre varias otras, y el calendario es actualmente utilizado para definir qué equipos asistirán a la Copa del Mundo en Rusia. No tengo duda que seguiremos trabajando con este proyecto durante los próximos años. En efecto, hoy ni siquiera podríamos imaginar programar nuestros fixtures sin la ayuda de investigación de operaciones. Saludo a todos desde Chile.
We are currently working to address new scheduling challenges, including the new security regulations in Chile. We intend to refine the methodology to support decisions on the exact days and times the teams must play. Motivated by the success of this project, we are now starting a new group on sport analytics. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Mario Ramirez to say a few words. Mario is Vice President for Public Affairs, or CDF, the soccer channel in Chile, in which the ANFP is the majority shareholder. It has also benefited greatly from the use of operations reserve.
Thank you, Hugo. Hola. Really pleased to be here and a great honor to be here. Canal Football is the television channel that owns the rights of the Chilean soccer tournaments and belongs in 80% to the Chilean Soccer Association and 20% to a private company that exercises the management control. Beyond the business itself, CDF is fully committed with educational and cultural programs within cooperation with different entities of the country. The company has 13 years of extremely successful history, which started, coincidentally enough, back on April 11th, 2003, counted today with almost 30 million subscribers. These 3 million subscribers means 12 million potential spectators, or 2/3 of the total Chilean population. This provides us with a tremendous opportunity to connect the country with its emotions, histories, and identity, and at the same time becoming our channel a great means to communicate educational and cultural messages. We cover soccer games played in the full country, including 25 stadiums in 19 different cities. Our staff and equipment travel about 20,000 miles per year to cover the 400 matches of the different annual tournaments. We challenge to connect the country in its more than 2,600 miles length. Operation research has helped us to reduce churn and to generate fidelity, and at the same time to increase the number of subscribers by more attractiveness tournaments. There is no way to exactly know how many of these subscribers have joined CDF because of the more attractiveness or not, but the roughest estimate is that it helped us with about 5% of the annual increase, due to the fact that today all games are broadcasted and classical games are scheduled on convenient times. As for social impact is concerned, which is most important for us, the use of operational research to schedule the tournaments has been an inspiration to create the educational sport that you just saw here. We have aimed mathematics with this to become a friendly partner for the Chilean population, with the 340 exhibition of the sport in the year 2015, to the potential 12 million people each time. In this way, we are complying with our commitment with education, making people understand how math is always present in our daily life. Thank you very much for your attention. I would like to invite now to Guillermo Duran, who will continue to talk about the portability of the project.
Thanks, Mario. We consider the portability as a very important part of our project. Our work in Chile has focused on soccer, but a couple of members of our team have also designed spin-off applications in other countries for different sports. One of these spin-offs is Argentina's Professional Volleyball League, which has used OR for season scheduling since 2007. This is the first reported application of the traveling tournament problem to a real-world sports league. Now, let's listen to Mr. Diego Arribas, competition manager of the Argentinian Volleyball Association, in this short video.
Mi nombre es Diego Arribas, soy el director de competencias de la Asociación de Clubes Liga Argentina de Voley. Nosotros organizamos la Liga Argentina Profesional. A partir de 2007 nosotros tuvimos contactos con gente de la Universidad de Buenos Aires que interactuaba con la Universidad de Chile, que realizaban el sistema del campeonato de fútbol de ese país. A partir de eso empezamos a trabajar en la optimización del fixture, debido a que muchos de los equipos tenían grandes viajes, y optimizar para ellos lo que tiene que ver con el cansancio de los jugadores y el costo por cada viaje era importantísimo.
Another spin-off example in Argentina is the Professional Basketball League, where we have been using OR for scheduling seasons since 2014. In this case, we propose a new season format that was accepted by the league and is similar to the one used in the NBA. In our next video, we hear the views about this project of Pepe Sanchez, former NBA player and currently president of Bahia Basket, one of the league's most important teams, and Manu Ginóbili, a world megastar and my favorite player, who plays in the NBA since 2002 and is aware of this project in his country.
In our experience working with the group of operations research has been a success, really important in this season. We got almost half, around 40% of the time we spend in a hotel or the gym instead of on the road. So for us, it has been a tremendous experience in terms of working with this group and avoiding, in our situation, once again in Bahia Basket situation, a lot of injuries. Overall, it's been a great experience working with them. I mean, we know that they've been working with the Chilean football for over 10 years.
The Argentinian Basketball League was in need of a new schedule. The one before was outdated, and considering the huge size of the country, the lack of highways and interconnecting flights, something had to be done. The team of mathematicians from the UBA did a great job optimizing travel time for the athletes and saving a lot of money to the teams. I think it was a great decision by the league. It was a job very well done by this group of scientists, and of course it still need a lot of tweaking, but for sure they are on the right track, and I'm excited about it.
Thanks, Manu. Applying OR to these leagues has brought them many benefits. For example, the Basketball League has cut the travel expenses for all the teams in the two divisions by about $700,000 per season, or 30%. Now, Andrés will talk about the impact on education of our project.
The overall economic impact of our project is about $6 million per year, for an activity that generates annual revenues about $120 million, about 5%. But we feel that in other areas, the project's contribution is even more significant. One such area is the development of teaching material for universities and especially high schools. Our operations research group is supported by a large research grant given to the Institute of Complex Engineering Systems. A central aim of the Institute is to undertake applied research projects jointly with local industry and government institutions that are both innovative and of high impact. As we've discovered, these activities are very attractive for high school students, who have found the soccer scheduling project particularly motivating.
Most young people think studying science is useless and boring. Motivating them to pursue a career in science is one of the biggest challenges in education. At the University of Chile, the Institute of Complex Engineering Systems has taken up this challenge, creating an educational program called Comunidad Ingenio to teach science through innovative projects. In one of these projects, students work on drawing up a simplified version of the Chilean soccer schedule.
A través del picture se ha logrado enseñar matemática de una forma mucho más entretenida y los alumnos reconocen las variables y la matemática en un contexto entretenido que es el fútbol.
More than 150 teachers have participated in the program since 2013. This innovative methodology has thus given almost 2,000 students an opportunity to appreciate the role of science in daily life.
Personalmente me pareció una actividad súper buena, ya que a través de planificar un campeonato pudimos aprender matemáticas de una manera súper sencilla. Me di cuenta de que el fútbol está totalmente unido con la matemática.
The program also has a traveling exhibition that visits high schools in different regions of the country. So far, nearly 18,000 students have seen it. On the other hand, more than 600 have taken part every year in soccer scheduling workshops held at universities.
El proyecto en particular de elaboración de fixtures del Campeonato Nacional de Fútbol ha sido una manera distinta del aprendizaje, una manera más lúdica. Esto ha encantado a nuestros jóvenes, a nuestros estudiantes, y no nos cabe duda que el día de mañana tendrán herramientas para poder elegir alguna carrera universitaria relacionada con la asignatura.
Contents of our sports scheduling project have also been used to teach operations research in bachelor's, master's and doctoral programs at universities of at least 4 countries: Argentina, Chile, the United States and Norway.
Since we introduced soccer scheduling in Chile, and in particular since we became finalists in the Edelman competition, local media coverage of our soccer-related project has been nothing short of impressive. For the first time in Chile, operations research has been featured explicitly in the press and on TV. We really got a lot of press. To conclude, beyond the economic impact, expanding the project to South America and the proven portability into other sports, there were other very significant impacts. Developing OR-based educational tools through games in schools and the CDF TV programs watched by millions. High visibility for OR in the press and on TV. Proving OR's value in soccer, a relatively and of high potential area. We've done many projects before. I've never seen the passion of people just for the team, for the pact itself. We've done things in logistics, in scheduling. It was not just a scheduling. We got students interested, we got professionals interested, the press was interested. There's a huge market for OR in sports, which we've discovered. So I think the world passion for soccer gives us a wide opportunity for OR. We thank Informs for the opportunity of presenting this project. Good evening.